Hello, everyone. Well, we are tuned in to another. You are tuned in to another Ourbondlive. It is me and my wife. We're the Hardmans. Here for another show. I'm just gonna go ahead and give y'all a disclaimer today. It's only me, y'all, cause she can't talk. Y'all can see that she can't talk. So, with that being said, she has acute bronchospasm, acute rhinitis, and laryngitis. So when we say she can't talk, she literally can't talk. So I'm going to need y'all as the audience to really help me out tonight, because she not going to help me in anything. Well, she might write something on her board and then add her little comments that way. But I can't look at the board and look at y'all and try to read her comments and then listen to what y'all or see what y'all got to say on your comments. So, I hope that y'all are able to hear her from her pen. And we're going to get this thing started tonight. Once again, with the Hardmans, you're tuned in to Ourbondlive. Every Tuesday, we come on at 7 o'clock to share different thoughts on trending topics that are and we get to hardmanize it. We get to share our thoughts and our views, and pretty much from a biblical perspective, because that's who we are. We are Christians, and I would even say more followers of Christ. So, with that being said, share, comment, like, and and we're gonna get this thing started. All right. So the topic is what? Write it out. What's the topic? See, I'm gonna put her to work since she can't talk. I'm gonna put her to work so she can tell you guys what the topic is. Kids are watching is the topic. Kids are watching. So my wife and I, we've been parents for about 14 years now. We're about to have a 14-year-old in the house on December 12th. So we've been parenting for a little while, and I think we've learned a lot over the years about parenting. But the topic for tonight is kids are watching. All right. So we're going to share a little bit of what we're talking about. Tiffany Haddish, if y'all guys know, she hosts a show called Kids Say the Darnest Things, right? And on this particular show, she had a little black girl who was a part of the show, and they were talking about marriage and how do you keep a marriage, and how do you keep a marriage and with love and respect and all of that stuff. So she shared thoughts and views on this particular topic that Tiffany Haddish brings. So we clips up. And as we put those clips up, these are what she actually said in these clips. All right. You got anything you want to say? You say. So we don't because we don't want to get blocked, and we've gotten blocked a couple of times, even though we've given credit to the source of where we got our video from. But so we wanted to us from getting blocked tonight. So we just got little small of what she actually said. So first thing she said, we're gonna go to the pictures. First picture. That's Tiffany Haddish and the child, and then let's go to the first picture. So ask the question: what are the rules for a successful marriage? Right? She asks, "What are the rules for a successful marriage?" And then the young girl says, you have to find the right person, right? That's the first thing she said. She's a cute little girl too, ain't she? And a lot of hair, all looking cute. She said you got to find the right. Then she says, number 3, then they have to be very nice to you. Y'all see that? they nice to you. Man, she got me working hard today, man. On the day when she can't talk, it got me working hard. All right. Then the third, they have to buy you everything you want. That's what she said. Right? All right. Next, like Gucci, Louis Vuitton. Okay. Now this is a little young girl talking. Okay. And wow. I okay. Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Prada. Okay. Big names. Okay. Okay. What is important and why? Why is that important? Oh, Tiffany Haddish asked the question, why is that important? So she answers, because you want to spoil your wife. Now, this what she talking about. She's sharing this. This is because you want to spoil your wife. All right. What do you have to do as a wife? So she asked the little girl, what do you have to do as a wife? And the little girl says, just wear the stuff. Okay. I wish we would have had the clip. Just wear the stuff. All right. And lastly, that's how she looks when she gives her answer. So she says you got to buy Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Prada, big name stuff. You got to be nice to your wife. You got to spoil your wife, right? She says all of these different things. And then Tiffany Haddish asked the question, so what does the wife have to do? And she says, wear the stuff. Now, if you see on our t-shirts, we a scripture, Proverbs 22:6, and that scripture says, train up a child in the way they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. Now, we looked at this clip, and we watched it, over and over again, and this little girl was very sincere about everything that she was saying. She said what she felt on her heart, right? So my wife said she is a beautiful girl. My fear is that she will equate things or gifts for love, no matter how she is treated. All right, she added her little she added her little 2 cents, and that's a lot. All right. So if you look at this, she basically says the viewpoint that her daughter gets will equate gifts to love. And we know that when we talk about train up a child in the way they should go, and when they're old, they will not depart from it. Your training or whatever you're doing or whatever you're portraying to your child in life, guess what? They are watching everything you do. So with them watching everything you do, they're looking for ways to see how a husband reacts to his wife, how fathers and are supposed to treat their daughters. All of these things are different things that they look at, and they are watching everything we do. Now, it matters more in a sense of what we do than what we say out of our mouths, right? Right. So she can't talk. But what I'm saying in this is I believe that there's something very, very important for us to really get when we have our children and we have our children watching, and whatever comes out of their mouths, they're speaking genuinely from their heart. And when they're speaking genuinely from their heart, that they are speaking from something that they saw or something that was modeled before them. And if before them, then their train of thought is based off of what they've seen, experience in life, right? So we have to be very, very on this. And guys, really, 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 what I need for you to do tonight is share and comment and we got a couple of questions like we always do every week, and I want y'all to really chime in on these questions, because these questions are going to be we can feed off each other, we can talk, and we can have a conversation. All right. So the first question, based off of the little girl who was on Kids Say the Darndest Things with Tiffany Haddish, look at this question, and when y'all look at this question, I want y'all to give your comments on what y'all think. All right. Here's the first question. What are you teaching when you believe no one is looking? What are you teaching when you believe no one is looking? What are you teaching when you believe no one is looking? And I want us to really have some dialogue. All right. So now my wife, she puts up a comment and says, "What do you mean by that?" So what I mean by that is, what are you teaching when no one is looking? If you really be open and honest, the training that you show or portray to your children are not always in front of them, or not when you think they're noticing or watching. You don't think they're noticing or watching, and that's when they're really watching. All right. And so the question is, what are you teaching your child when you don't think they're looking, when they're around, when you don't think they're paying attention to you? What are you demonstrating in front of your children when you don't think they're watching? Because I believe that your lifestyle, the essence of who you are, not the best representative that you're trying to put in front of people, but when you're behind closed doors, when you think you're by yourself, or when you're in your children actually watching you, but know it, and they're looking at even subtleties that are on the inside of you that you say. Here's the thing, because they read between the more than we give them credit for. All right. Between the lines a lot more than we give them credit for. And one of the things say even is this, is that they're when, if you say that you're going to do something and you don't follow it, you might you don't feel like doing it, or you don't feel like going through the motions, or you don't feel like doing this. However, your child sees that you are unreliable. And that's what your child is what I say out of my mouth really does not have connection to the actions that I put forth. So when you think about that, what are the assumptions or the things that people are your children are watching, that you're portraying, that you don't even know that you're off, but they are watching how you do things, because they feel like your word doesn't mean anything. Then you can say, "Oh, tomorrow we're going out to get some ice cream," and guess what? What's going to happen? They're not even look forward to any ice cream, because you don't follow through on your actions. Even conversely, on the flip side, now we believe in spread around. If you tell your child that if they don't do what they need to do, and they don't get on thanking, if you don't follow through, they'll believe that, oh man, I can continue to do what I'm gonna do, because I don't feel like they're gonna discipline me in a way. So the question is, what are you teaching when no one is looking? She says she has an example. All right. She has an example. So she's going to put her example on. What's your example, babe? All right. What's your example? Ain't she cute? Ain't she cute? She can't talk. She can't say anything, but she got all of her stuff written out. All right. So read it first, and I'm going to turn it around. Our youngest, Opal, told her boy that she loved him in front of everyone on the bus. She shocked the little boy so bad that he ran home and made Opal sad. So y'all look, she already had Wife so cute. Look. She had written out. So, oh, I asked her why she told him that. She said he treats me like daddy treats you. Treats me like daddy treats you. He's nice. Hold my books and make sure I'm okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. She said first being speechless. Then I told her that it's okay to love. Keep that close to your heart. That's really special and only shared with someone special. She still got more. Her a secret. I told her that the first time I saw him, but what? I told her that I loved Daddy the first time I saw him, but I kept that in my heart until he told me first. Get this? Y'all get this? Oh, the point is that I wanted to teach her not to chase a boy / man. That if they lead you right, just mommy. Wow. Okay. So, guys, what do y'all got to say to that? What type of lessons are you teaching when you think no one is looking? What type of lessons are you teaching when you think no one is looking? Because, and I want you guys to share comments, because what is I believe in life, and I believe that as we become parents, and really, the first child, of course, you're learning a lot. You don't know everything, and you're trying to basically figure it out on the job training. This is like on the job training. And even when your parents tell you when they had you and certain experiences, they still can't share the specifics of what you're going through. Why? Because it contextualized for where you are and what's going on right now and the two people that are in this relationship. It's total. So they can give you some tips. They can give you some advice, some guidance, but then you gotta really take that from where you are and really take it to where you need to go. So what are you teaching when no one is looking? And we're talking on behalf of children. What are you teaching when no one is looking? What are you teaching? Are you showing them that you're dependable? Are you showing them that you're reliable? Are you showing them that your word is good? Are you showing them that you have a good heart and you're willing to treat people fairly? Because if they feel like you're not treating them fairly, then what's happening is you're causing even a problem in the relationship, and this or to your child, by how you experience or how you express or how you show love or how you even discipline. All of those things are actually being taught to your child. And so it is your responsibility as a parent to really be intentional about what you portray. And be intentional about what you say and how you handle the situation. So I really feel naked right now because she can't talk, even though she's sharing as much as she possibly can, but she really can't talk. So I'm trying to drive this. So guys, please comment. All right. Question number 2. Is there anything you say and do that contradict each other? Is there anything you say and do that contradict each other? All right. So I want y'all to comment. Is there anything that you say and do that contradicts each other? Because this is a very important question, because these questions actually really begin to really delve into your mindset and what you say to your children. All right. Yeah. So now, y'all saw what she put up there. Do as I say, not as I do. Has that phrase ever come out of your mouth? Has that phrase ever come out of your mouth? And if that phrase has come out of your mouth, No matter how much you say, do as I say, not as I do, they're going to do as you do. And it don't matter what you say, they're going to follow what you do, because your actions are going to speak for them. So when you do it and you tell them not to do it, but you doing it in front of them, eventually they're going to see it. Now, we understand the confines of what marriage is. So when I kiss my wife in front of the girls, I'm showing my children that I'm affectionate to my wife. I love my wife. But then I tell them, all four of my girls, that this is within the confines of marriage. Right? So they get a godly example of what I'm supposed to be doing as a husband, showing affection to my wife, showing love for my wife, cherishing my wife, caring for my wife, treating her in a respectful way. And what that does is that gives them an example to see when Pookie, Ray Ray Earl, Shorty Tim, Peanut, all. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, all the other boys come around. They know that Daddy treats Mommy in a respectable way, and also it was something that was specific to us being in a relationship, a covenant relationship, a relationship that is based on commitment. All right, so Doris said, "I try, me only, to say what I mean and mean what I say." Answer number one. And she said, show the question again, please. Okay, so that was question number one. So I'm going to show y'all question number two again. Is there anything you say and do that contradict each other? Is there anything you say and do that contradict each other? All right? So that's the question. That's the question for you guys. Is there anything you say and do that contradict each other? You know, and what I'm even trying to portray to this is that, and I like what Dara said for the answer of the first question. She said, I try to say what I mean and mean what I say, and which is really an important aspect to live by. Let your word be your bond. Let whatever you say out of your mouth be the truth. Be what. So you can't say, well, I said it but I didn't really mean it, and then you don't follow through on it, because if you don't follow through on it, then what you say out of your mouth becomes irrelevant. They don't really trust anything you say, and all of the words that come out of your mouth is just like womp, 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 just like Charlie Brown's teacher, because everything that you're saying is not founded. There's no power in your words, because when your character actually backs up your words have power. So they know if you're going to say something and they tell you to do something, then guess what happens? When you say it, it carries weight. And it carries weight because you followed through on your words before. And when you followed through on your words before, it puts more weight and heaviness and strength behind your words. Why? Because you've said something before and then you had the ability to follow through on it. So it rang true to them in their mindset. They saw the manifestation of the words coming out of your mouth. All right? So here's another comment from Doris. Thank you, Doris, for stepping in for my wife. Doris says, my temper, working on it. Don't fight. Be nice is what I tell them. But my temper shows something else. So she's actually saying that there's some level of contradiction. She said, I tell folk be nice. But when somebody push my buttons, my temper rises up. And sometimes my temper gets the best of me. Is that what you're saying? So that's cool. I think that, and that's very cool to be candid and transparent. Cool to be candid and transparent. And I'll say even sometimes I'll be contradictory. Now we provide our girls with a very nice life. They don't have nothing to worry about. They got food to eat, clothes on their backs. They got everything that they need. And so we take care of them very nicely. But one of my daughters gets mad at me because she will say to me, Daddy, you just bought something that costs all this money, but then if I ask you for something, you don't want to buy it for me. That's what I bought something. I think I spent maybe $200 on it, right? And I just went to the store and I got it. I got it, and then I came back like it was nothing. And then she wanted me. I think she wanted me to take her to Chick-fil-A or whatever, and I said no. That might have been $10. And she was upset with me. She was like, Daddy, you just went to the mall and you spent all this money, and I asked you for something for $10 and you couldn't do it for me. And I'm like, no, that's not the case. But then the question, and this is very, very key, very key. I said that's my money. I worked hard for it, and I get to be able to purchase something that I want, because I've worked hard for it. However, in some instances, could I be showing her that she's not valuable? I just want y'all to really think about this. Could I be showing her? Now, I'm not saying that I can't say no to my daughter, because, yes, I can say no to my daughter. And guess what I could do? I could tell her that I'm going to buy what I want to buy because I worked hard for it. And but in a sense, because I don't want to portray the wrong message to my daughter too at the same time. But there are times where I do, like this past week. Where did we go? We was at the mall. We had to pick up something, and we was at the mall. And while we was at the mall picking up something, she was like, Daddy, can I get a pair of jeans? So I'm like, okay. We go and get these pair of jeans. Now, she told me the jeans was one price. But when we got in the store, the jeans was double the price that she said the jeans were. But I still got her the jeans. And when I still got her the jeans, then she was like, okay, Daddy, I appreciate it. I appreciate that, Daddy. You did, I kind of tricked you on that. Because I was like, hold on now. You told me that the jeans was this price. And then the jeans were double the price that you told me before we got in the store. So, but yeah, kids now want instant gratification. And some of the lessons that we try to teach our daughters is this. Number one, you gotta work for what you get. And if you're working for what you get, then it means more to you, and you won't just throw it away when you don't feel like you appreciate it more. So we try to teach our daughters that, hey, there are certain things that you get, there are privileges that you get with hard work. When you work hard and you show determination and perseverance, even when you go through struggles and when you have some hardships, and you're still able to overcome those hardships and you work through it, guess what? There's a lot of times on the other side of hard work is opportunity, success, and blessing. But if you don't want to work hard for it in the beginning, then guess what you're saying? Well, I don't value work in the first place, and work really won't pay off. Work, and we always try to show our daughters that work does pay off. Work does pay off, and they see it really exemplified in our lives, because my wife and I, we work hard at a lot of different things, and we are constantly working. We're grinding, and we're trying to provide a wonderful life for our daughters. But yeah, we have to really, really think about this, and think about how we're portraying the lessons in life to our children. So there's a couple of comments. Dara said, "That's good. You can say no to your daughter." That's Nakia. What's up, Kia? Said that's good. You can say no to your daughter. Now I have 3 kids, 2 boys and a daughter. That 18-year-old, and it's so hard for me to say no to her. Yeah, I mean, they can get you. They can get you. They give you them puppy dog eyes, and they start looking sad, and want to come around and cuddle, and you know what they want. But at the same time, because you love them and you want to shower them with gifts and blessings, but you don't want to let the gifts and all of those things actually become the foundation of your relationship. Go ahead. Like the girl, because if she considers that love is a representation of gifts, Gucci, Prada, all of that, then she'll basically equate all somebody got to do is just put some trinkets in front of her. They might not love her, but they are using the trinkets to draw her in. And then guess what? She might be in a relationship that could be a bad relationship for her. However, because of the gifts, she thinks that that person loves her. And that should not be. All right. Another comment says, hey, Mom. Says, like the time I bought the leather jacket for you. You are a go ahead. Okay, I don't know. Like the time I bought a leather jacket for you. So what was the lesson in that? You gonna have to explain that lesson, Mom. You gonna have to explain that lesson. When she bought the leather jacket for me, did I lose the leather jacket? Did I lose it? I don't know. I don't know what happened. But anyway, I can't remember. I can't remember that. And even if I did, I don't know if I might need to remember that. All right. I think I might have left it. All right. Here we go. I like this. The comments are coming in. Sometimes it is, I am your father, and you have to trust that I have your best interests at heart, and I love you. So, I guess that, yeah. From a father's perspective, talking to a daughter and trying to give a level of examples to my daughters, my love for my girls will be exemplified in my actions. But not only in my actions, my love for my daughter could also be exemplified in my no. Because my yes could be more detrimental to my daughter than my no. And I think that's sometimes that's what happens in life. Sometimes you give your children everything that they want, and then they have oh, I did. Okay. And sometimes when you give them that yes, and then you don't really value the yes because you got it, but the no teaches you a lesson sometimes that you have to really think about and ponder over. Yes. So my mama said, yes, you lost the jacket, and I went out on a limb to get it for you. I'm sorry, Mama. I thought it was something like that, and I really wanted that jacket. We was at this place in Florida. Anyway, we was at this place, and I really, really, really wanted the jacket. I really wanted the jacket, and it was an expensive jacket. And she bought the jacket for me, and yeah, I lost the jacket. So obviously, I did not value the jacket enough to really take care of it and really keep it close to me, especially when my mama went out on a limb to buy it for me. Man. All right. So now she writes, she says, we feel guilty and want to give them more than we have, but sometimes it can hurt them worse. Yes. That happens. That really happens. And I think too, that's why we have to temper how we bless our children in some instances. Not saying that we don't shower them or give them what they want sometimes, but we have to be very cautious what we're portraying when we're giving them gifts, because if gifts are the only aspect of love that they see from us, then they won't honor the discipline. They won't honor us when we actually speak to them to give them guidance and direction that they don't like. When we begin to speak to them that addresses issues that may even deal with their own personal character, and we have to address those issues. We have to be parents that are really, really portraying what we need to portray to our children. All right? Won't honor time. Okay. Yeah. All right. Honor time spent. Yeah. All right. Yeah. We'll get back to that. Couple of other comments. Oh, okay. You know what happened, my brother? Lots of laugh. It says that's true because I try to give my kids things I couldn't have. Yeah. So our responsibility is to make sure that we're doing everything that we possibly can to teach life lessons to our children in such a way that they get a good example of who we are, a good example of the lessons that we may have learned over life, because we've experienced a lot more than our children have experienced. And sometimes letting them experience some of the pain of them getting what they want when you tried to tell them that what they wanted was not good for them, then sometimes you gotta let them have it. In that regard, and I'll use this one of these lessons. So, my we was at a restaurant. It was my mom, my dad, my godparents, and we were at a restaurant. And while we were at the restaurant, we were eating. I was eating off everybody's plate. I was just eating. Going over here, eat, and get some over here, eat, get some over there, eat, right? So, so we had our meals. I had these big old cheeseburgers. Ate the cheeseburgers, right? So I'm good. So then, the godmom, she said, "Who wants a dessert?" So now I was already full, cause I've been eating off everybody's plate. But I said, "I want dessert." So me and my brother, we get these cakes, and when we get these cakes, and these cakes, we said, I want a whole one. I don't want to share with nobody. I want a whole one. Man, when those cakes came out, those cakes were huge, and my godmom said, "You gonna eat every bit of that? You asked for it, you eat it." And man, my eyes got so watery because I was already full, and I knew I had been eating off everybody's plate. But now I got to eat this thing, and what they said, I was long-eyed, as they say, the old folks say. I was long-eyed, and I might have ate about 3 bites of that cake, and she was like, "You gonna eat that cake? I bought it. You gonna eat it?" And I'm eating, but I can't really eat no more. And I started crying, and I might have been, I don't know, I was about 8, 9 years old. Or it might have been 10 years old, I don't know. But the lesson was that there are some things, sometimes you ask for things that you're not ready for. And when you ask for things that you're not ready for, and your parents try to give you that guidance and direction, that you shouldn't get this because this is not going to be good for you, but you want it so bad, so you have it. And when it turns out that it was worse off than if you had not gotten it in the first place, then you learn that lesson. And when you learn that lesson, you say, "You know what? I might need to take my parents' thoughts and opinions under consideration the next time I go through a situation like this." All right. So now, any other comments? All right. Here we go. Preach. Some of us grown folk don't want to listen to what our Father tells us either, and we be mad when life spanks our butts too. Exactly. And we don't want to listen. Our Heavenly Father gives us things, or we say we want things, and our Heavenly Father says, "Nah, that might not be the thing." But then we push it, and guess what? We try to go after those things that we should not have gone after, and they end up, being a detriment to us. So we learn a lot. All right, but there are contradictions that we have in our lives that sometimes we have to really think about and think those things through. That if we say something, let's mean what we say what we mean, but then also the lessons behind what we do, let us be able to express those things in a way that will teach our children how to behave and act and live. All right. Question number 3. What messages are you sending to your children that could come back to bless or haunt you? What messages are you sending to your children that could come back to bless or haunt you? One more time. What messages are you sending to your children that could come back to haunt or bless you? We really got to think about that. We really got to think about what are some of the messages that we're sending to our children. And sometimes we have to be contemplative on these things and look at the signals that we're sending to our children. We just told y'all they are watching. Our children are watching everything that we do. So the messages that we're sending to our children could be very, it could bless them or it could hurt them. And I'll say this, a lot of times, even being a pastor and just dealing with different things, a lot of times we see sometimes consequences that happen from a level of negligence. And it's scary sometimes because you want everybody to, whatever they're experiencing, you want people to experience the best in life, but then some of the decisions that people make actually leave scars on their children, and their children bear the ramification of what they've done even in their lives, right? Yeah, family curses can haunt. Family curses. Now, when we talk about family curses, what do family curses mean? That family curses are, and I would think family curses are cyclic. In other words, one person was like this, and it translated to the next generation, and the next generation, and the next generation. And unless there's somebody there that is going to be specific to say, you know what, this is not going to happen to me. I'm going to break this curse. I'm going to break this cycle because my mama did it. My grandmama did it. I've seen myself doing it, and I don't want to be in this position to do it anymore. So a lot of times what happens is there has to take somebody who's going to be open and honest, first of all, about the situation happening, and then second of all, about doing something that's going to eradicate that thing. And then you got to be open and honest. Man, I see this happen so many times. There are so many issues that happen in relationships or in families that are not addressed, and they sweep it under the rug, and it goes on to the next generation and the next generation until somebody has the fortitude and the gumption to really address it head on. You can never heal what you don't reveal. You can never heal what you don't reveal. And if you don't reveal it, or if you don't expose it, then it can never be addressed. Exposure to the situation actually puts the situation on notice that now we're going to meet this thing head on. But as long as you sweep it under the rug, as long as you don't address it, as long as you cover it up, as long as you act like it doesn't exist, it will wreak havoc in your life. Because one of the comments that was said, the biggest myth that the devil ever used to people was to say that he doesn't exist. And when he does, but he's wreaking havoc, but you don't think he exists. Those same things about your problems. The problems that happen in your life, and you see all of these different problems that are going on, but you won't address them. Those problems continue to come back and to haunt you. And not only do they haunt you, but they haunt your children. Because you didn't address them in your context. And now that same problem has now translated in some area of their lives. Mistakes made and learned from can bless. All right, so just think about that. The mistakes we make and that we learn from them can actually be a blessing. And I've said this before. And as I like always to read, you never lose if you learn from it. You win some, you learn some. You never lose. You only lose if you don't learn from it. And you're and what they say, if you don't learn from it, you're destined to repeat it. You're destined to repeat it. And it could be something that you thought that you got over. And I'll say this as parents, we have to be very, very, very keen and sensitive to each child, because how we react to certain children may directly affect them negatively or positively. And then each child is different. You could be a little more stern with one, but you got to be a little sensitive with the other. You could push the other one a little bit more, but you got to be sensitive about how you push one. So you really have to study your children and study their tendencies and study their personalities and study what makes them motivate them, because what you're doing as a parent is you're being intentional about figuring them out, and really learning them and learning what motivates them and what drives them and what gives them inspiration and encouragement, and what discourages them too as well. So you have to really think about all of those things, because that means so much in the relationship to your child. When your child begins to realize that you figure them out, or you know them, or you can connect with them on that level, what it does is it brings the relationship closer together. Each child needs their own individual time with you. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. You helping out, baby. You help me. Give me 5. Each child needs individual time with you. So you can't always collectively take everybody out together. I think that shows that the children need individual time, need time to have one-on-one with each parent, not just both parents, but each parent. And I think what that does is that shows, number one, the connectivity of you as a father or a mother to that child in their own individualistic way, that you're able to share with them and you're able to vibe and connect with them on their level without anybody else having to interrupt that moment. Because children need individual moments. And I think, too, when you have those individual moments, you're showing them that they are special and they are specific, or they are valued. And you don't clump everybody together, because they are individuals. And I think when you do that and you're showing love to them, then you're showing love in such a way that it puts value and worth on the time that you spend together. All right. Any other comments? All right. So what messages are you sending to your children? Really think and ponder on that, because when you think about that, you're thinking about even your frustrations. Do your frustrations spill out into your children's lives? Do they see the frustrations that you're going through and then you lash out at them, but it really didn't have anything to do with them? It was something that was going on with you personally. And that can be something that, if I'm mad, I could just lash out at anybody, and really me lashing out is just, hey, just take it for what it is. It is what it is. I lashed out at you. And then here's another thing. A parent can really mess up the child. If you actually get something wrong, apologize. You was about to write that. Well, we on the same page, baby. That means we on the same page. She's displaying a message right now, but our daughters are not here right now. Our production assistant is normally here to help us out in this process, but she has homework that she's doing right now, so we had to carry the show on by ourselves. But listen, be willing to apologize to your child, to let them know that, number one, you can get stuff wrong. And they would even look at you with a level of sincerity to know that, you know what, they love me enough to come back and say, I'm sorry, I messed that up. And then also, too, it teaches your child that as parents, we're not perfect. You know, Because sometimes you could portray that you're perfect, but what happens is your child grows up and they realize that, man, mama wasn't perfect, daddy wasn't perfect, and now I'm living in the real world. I was thinking that everything was supposed to be all peaches and cream, and I start to realize that it was a whole bunch of mess going on, and they was just covering it up, and so that becomes an issue too. Um, Kia said, you're making some great points because I always try to give my kids one-on-one time while to better understand them. Yeah, and that's good. I mean, yeah, we need that one-on-one time to even have an opportunity to understand our children, because we can't understand them a lot of times all clumped together. They all have the individual personalities. They all have mood swings. They all have ways that they connect. They all have ways that they communicate. And our responsibility is to try to be there to communicate with them on their level in a way that they feel it, and in a way that we can display it that would touch them and reach them. That means a lot. That means so much. And when you have that time with your child, you're sending the message that, number one, we love you. You're valuable to me. You are an individual, and your own individual personality means much. And we don't have to make you a cookie cutter example of what your other sister or your other sibling might be, because somebody may have, let's see. So one child could have been the model child. Who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody, and they were telling me that they had one daughter who basically aced school, didn't have to worry about anything. She was a self-starter. She did everything right, and then the other one barely didn't make it through school, right? And he was saying, He asked the question, did I give more attention to the one who I thought was supposed to fit my mold than really actually giving the attention to the other one who, may not have fit my description of what I saw as success, but they were trying their hardest. And could I have neglected the other one for giving the other one so much attention? And that means that, these are the messages that we can send our children, because we have a quote unquote picture of what success is, or what a model child should be. And not saying that it wasn't that the young girl was a bad girl, but she just struggled, and she did all that she could do to try to get herself in the position that she's in. And she was trying her hardest. And so sometimes we have to be very careful of that too, that we don't neglect one child over the other because the one child that we feel like is not meeting the standards that we have, we neglect them when they could be given their heart, they could be given their soul, and they could be trying their hardest. And we overlook that. So every child is not the same. And as parents, we have to be very cautious to not put them in categories like that, to where we actually almost put them in a competition against each other. Why won't you be more like your sister? Why won't you be more like, that's one of the worst things that you could do, is say that, because now you're saying, well, what's wrong with me being the way I am? All right. Wow. It's 7:58. It's 7:58. So we want to share this with you guys. We have our holiday flyer. We know that this is the last week for you guys to purchase tickets. So please, we only have 4 couple tickets left. Deadline Friday, or when sold out. And hopefully we'll sell out before this coming Friday. But if you have not gotten your tickets for the holiday, couples holiday celebration, I promise you it's going to be worth your while. We're going to have good food, good entertainment, good fellowship. We're going to have so many things that are going to be beneficial for coming, and just an opportunity to just and we have a program, and that's going to be beneficial. So guys, if you haven't gotten your tickets, please you can go to Eventbrite and look up Hardman what? Oh, Ourbondlive, yeah. See, I'm trying to read her lips. But you can go to Ourbondlive and on Eventbrite, and you can purchase your tickets. And when you purchase your tickets, man, I promise you, it's going to be worth your while. December 14th, 2019, 7 o'clock or 6:30? 7 p.m. We're going to have a great time. We're going to enjoy ourselves. So, guys, really, really, if you haven't gotten your tickets, we only have 4 couples tickets left. Get your tickets, and I promise you it'll be worth your while. All right? I did good. Thank you. I did good. That's my approval. She gave me my approval, so I feel good. But, yeah, so thank you guys for watching tonight. We enjoyed you. Pray for my wife that her throat gets better, that the bronchospasm, rhinitis, and laryngitis dissipates, that God cancels it and moves it out, and so that she can be back up and running and be her normal self. All right? Rude to the bros for Achievement Week. We're in Achievement Week this week, so the fraternity, Omega Psi Phi fraternity, was founded on November 17th. 1911, and we are enjoying our Achievement Week activities. So I'll be seeing you, bros, somewhere out in the Atlanta area this week. Happy Founders Day, because Founders Day is going to be on the 17th, and we won't have our show then. So I'm saying it now to everybody that's viewing. All right, until next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Check us out, share, and we'll check you out next time on our Bond Live. Peace.